Yeah, I'm at two live streams. I had to take a break. Probably Scott watching. Yeah, Platt's doing his little drama. Mills doing about the John McAfee and the Elon Musk thing. Typical topics. Yeah, I think I did a live stream on myself. I believe. What was it? Was it yesterday? Day's 29th. Yeah, yesterday. I did a response. What I said. Yeah, everything I said is true and accurate. I'm just what's going on from my observation. It's just normal. I'm just chilling, man. You know, I just want to throw a little self live stream. But yeah, man, I think I'm going to just trying to see what topics I'm going to bring next month. Just check out the sapio concept. I'm going to probably get into sapiosexualism, try and figure out a way of mastering the channel up. But yeah, man, I think last night everybody didn't want to get swept. I think Dallas. Um, they lost against the Clippers. The Clippers gonna survive. They still gonna lose the series because Dallas can win it. I see them winning it this time. Um, Boston got lucky because it was in Boston, but they're gonna come out different the next game. So you know how it's gonna be. Now Philly is tonight. I mean, early today. I don't know if it's early today. I think it's early. Yeah, Philly's gonna have to sweep Washington. I think LA plays tonight. But I think Atlanta beat the Knicks. I'm not surprised. That may go seven. But it's a lot of 2-1s. But I mean that's the NBA. I've been chilling, man. I've been out here. Everybody's in a live stream mode. But I've just I just want to take a little break from the little chaos. But for me, I'm good out here walking. It's in my backyard, just chilling, you know. But yeah, man. I'm just here, man. Here for the content. But I know people's talking about Hollywood, and I got in a chat conversation with what's his name, Ricardo Rodney. Um, I think Kuda was talking about the Hollywood thing and the mainstream thing, and there was a few brothers got annoyed, but talking about gear and stuff, right? Ricardo said something very telling. They said some people don't have people to help them grow their channels. Yeah, you got that on YouTube already. I don't think he understands that Hollywood is trying to change certain people. They try to say Hollywood is going to use Kwame Brown. I disagree. Kwame Brown ain't trying to be famous. He's for the people. I don't think Kuda understands. Kwame Brown don't care about no microphone gear. Yeah, he cares, but I don't think he wants to sell out like that. I'm sorry to tell you. Everybody's going to do different purposes, what they're going to do. He's his own model. You see what he did to mainstream media. He's his own man. You don't need Hollywood. Hollywood is finished. I mean, Kevin Samuels does not like the spotlight. I agree with AM on that. He said that in a recent live stream. And the talking points people gonna figure out they're not gonna mess with him. So the whole point of the manosphere is not about mainstream media. It's to help brothers to understand you're going against the grain. You're going against the top. So yeah, we're fighting each other right now. I've heard that from all the new style stream that Friday night. BJS was saying it best. They still fighting each other. They ain't worrying about Kwame Brown. In Truth, this young guy named Truth said, "Oh, he's going to be assassinated like Malcolm X," and they stopped him real quick. No, he has to have a group following. He has to have a movement to threaten their money. But in reality, it ain't even that because society is collapsing in a certain way. Automation ain't going to save them. That's just a cop-out excuse. But there's real money to be made. But people worrying about this glitz and glamour and fame. I say, fuck fame. You don't need fame. Fame is one of the worst things to strive for. I know I'm gonna get some pushback, but fame doesn't solve anything. The manosphere, or both sides of the manosphere, because you already got mainstream manosphere. That's the so-called, I don't want to call them the white manosphere. They're still black. It's all of manosphere. All of manosphere is designed to help men development. You got to be your own individual and survive out in society. I've learned that years ago. I left this shit in 2014 and came back in somewhat 2019 to now. You know, I'm still currently in it because what's the next step? You know what I mean? And that's the big production we're trying to deal with here. But I think people are too distracted by entertainment. So my message in that live stream was very simple, man. Like, stop dealing with dudes that say they're the leaders of the manosphere, but really they're not leaders. They're leaders of destruction. You know what I mean? Everybody's their own leader. Manosphere does not have a leader. Now, the other side does, yes, but they want to go mainstream. Let Myron and all them dudes that do podcasting go mainstream. We'll watch them, but we're not on that level. The guys that speak truth and the underground stuff, they don't fuck with mainstream media. Yeah, you can get all the microphones and gears all you want. That's cool. You can have your own little setup. That's cool. But not everybody's gonna be a part of it. It's only a handful. Like I said in my recent stream, everybody cannot podcast. Podcasting, yes, it's audio, but not everybody's good with audio. Audio is determined if you have the sound. It's not always the audio, it's you. Because some people just don't fuck with you. It ain't just, you know, what you sound. Yeah, you may sound like money, but they just don't fuck with you. And I agree with that. You can have all the gear you want, but they ain't gonna fuck with you. That's just what it is. Some people go by looks. Some people go by charisma. But if you have a voice like mine, I'm not gonna be liked anyway. Fuck them. See what I'm saying? I built my channel from scratch, and I told that to Ricardo. I did that for years. And I still don't get no love like that. And the reason being, I'm intimidated for most people. And I've learned that in the workplace. I learned that in society. I say fuck everybody else. That's what my channel is built off on. I'm sorry to tell you that. It's just I stopped caring. I'm just sharing my shit. Because I'm not gonna get to a certain level. And I learned to deal with that because I learned to be the bad guy in the sphere. See, being a good guy in the manosphere is not gonna get you anywhere. Because it gets you a lot of dick riders and shit like that. Too much dick hosting. Excuse my language, but I know long pause for the New Yorkers out there. But I'm just saying, man, I ain't with all that. But what I've learned over the years, you can't trust anyone. So from 2012 to now, this second channel that I just built from scratch, I've learned to be careful what I say on panels, chat rooms, because people be monitoring shit. Because people too damn sensitive. They don't want the real truth. See, I'm on this black pill shit. I'm not on this red pill shit. The red pill shit, I grew out of that. I understand the blue and the red, so I'm not really red pill. I passed red pill. Hell, I'm more black pill. I'm more in the age of enlightenment. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking for enlightenment. My female days of looking at hoes, them days is over. That's dying off. Because at this age of 33, I'm looking for enlightenment. I'm looking because I'm heading to be 40 real soon in a couple more years. I'm not worrying about in my 30s, oh, you're trying to struggle. No, I'm still on the bottom. I'm a guy from the middle of nowhere. So, you know, I used to live in the city for decades, so I know them whore days is done. I just don't look at it the same like most people do. You know, shouts out to the individuals. I mean, I use them for what they are. I get certain knowledge, what I can do for audio, just for, you know, political reasons, small political. I ain't trying to make it big through this shit because I already know how mainstream and Hollywood views people. They don't respect you, but fuck them. Fuck corporations. I'm against corporations. I'm sorry to tell you that. I don't fuck with them like that. I have beef with them since 2012. So you know how it is. It's a civil war. And I think Kuda's gonna realize that too. Yeah, you can have the best gear, the best megaphone, be like Alex Jones, but Alex Jones is a fucking clown. He got locked up of some shit that you don't want to be a part of. See, that's why you gotta keep your mouth shut. You gotta learn to play it right. Now you can have this and some money, you know, yeah, you can have some gear, but you gotta be smart. You gotta pick the right people. Don't do it for fame. You know, do what you love. That's just like what Gully TV says. You'll get somewhere. You don't need them because Hollywood wants to kill your talent. That's their job. That's what they're supposed to do. Their job is to fuck you up. Their job is to knock your shit loose. That's called control power. A lot of people are not really soundproof. See, I'm soundproof on any voice or microphone, whatever. If I have a decent microphone, whatever, that ain't gonna solve the issues. The issue is, are you listening to my message? That's the thing. Audio, yeah, you can have all the gear and stuff. There's nothing wrong having gear. You can be fancy dynamic, or you can have a condenser mic, and it's great. But what you gotta understand, you don't want a society full of mainstream Hollywood freaks on a political scale. Because number one, we're not respected as a group. We don't even have a group or a website to voice our shit or have gear. You know, I understand what Coot is coming from, and people disagree with him in Platt's chat room right now in the live stream right now because I didn't want to do it comfortable in my room. It's normal. Ricardo said it best. He said everybody doesn't build their channels on helping someone, and he said something. Then I responded. I said I built mine from the ground up. It took me years to get where I'm at, but this is my second channel. This ain't my first channel. My first channel got destroyed because I was trying to transition and changing my style of channel, and it cost me my channel. And that's why I'm sticking the way I'm sticking with it, because I can't do that again, because that's what got me messed up by one individual. I had to cut his ass off for life. But I'm not gonna do it to these guys. I'll help and support, but I'm not gonna follow mainstream media and they bullshit, because it's gonna backfire. People gonna see it's gonna backfire. I'm not worried, because people come and go. Not everybody's built for YouTube. YouTube is not about money. That's just to fuck you over. They're not gonna pay everybody the amount as a partner. I learned this years ago, man. I never monetized this channel, and this it will still not be monetized. What's the point? It's not lucrative. You got to be careful. I'm looking at it from a political standpoint, the money standpoint, and this COVID situation, because nobody don't know how to survive. Yeah, you can survive, but jobs will be automated computers. A lot of people say they're gonna give it to the women. I doubt it, because women ain't good with tech. It's mostly guys. They need guys to go back to work. You do know that, and not everybody's married. There's a reason behind that, because this country's about to collapse, man. They don't know how to deal with this tech shit. That's gonna take years and years to get to a certain level. But I'll tell you this: 5G, you can get them on phones already. I don't have 5G, but the official 5G is gonna be upgraded if you upgrade your shit or whatever. They said the 4Gs will be damaged. Not necessarily. 5G, you get the extra shit. I ain't got a certain phone that has 5G, but you know, it depends on your stuff. You know what I mean? You can switch information and things like that nature, but it gets hectic. It gets hectic. I don't understand, but it gets hectic. So you know, I'm good. But if you get a 5G phone, that's cool. But a 6G phone, it's a whole nother story. That's when you want to have condenser mics, small mini mics in your hand, talking, or a headset. That's the truth. And you got headphones that have mic volume. There's no need to get a studio setup. That's for certain people. Studios are great, but if he's using a Yeti mic, that's basically bland. So you know how people is. But yeah, man, I just want to just put this out here, man. Like, he had some good points in the chat, but I told Ricardo, that's like mostly everybody if you build it from scratch. But you got people that bought subscribers, man. And I was listening to a playback of the recent stream that Kuda did when he dropped us down, and that was a decent stream. It wasn't the best stream because of that shit, and Jerome had everybody trolled and messed up. He kind of fooled everybody. So basically what you had was a little problem. And then I think Angry Man had a problem with females running the panels. Well, see, that's what happens when you have a person that comes from the entertainment background He used to be a rapper. Now he's trying to be a DJ. It's a different ball game. So it goes back to who you are. And you got to have a certain type of skill in that level. Not everybody's a musician. I'm just sorry to tell you that. But podcasting can be a little overrated. I've seen better podcasting from Dame Dash. I've seen others. I've seen white podcasters. They try to say Joe Rogan's best. Joe Rogan's shit is trash. And me personally, I don't fuck with his shit. I've seen spill his stuff. Not everybody can podcast. Sup, she? It's going. Yeah, I don't fuck with dudes that podcast like that. I like real substance. What they talk about, the message, not just the microphones itself, but the substance that you can see. Like, this is why I listen to Devin Wade more. He has substance. And everybody else is just trash. You know, I'm just sorry. I don't listen to garbage that they be spewing. It's the message while I look into podcasts. You know, podcasting is not that simple. You got to have a message. You got to have cadence. You got to have character. You got to have flamboyance. You have to be that dude. And a manosphere, they're not built like that. Like, I'm sorry. It's only a handful I can say that. Angry Man, he had his time. He fucked up doing what Tommy did, and then he did an interview with Tommy that brought him back. And this is why a lot of people don't like Angry Man. I understand, but Angry Man, yeah, his time's gonna blow, but I don't think he'll be the biggest dude. No, he's up there. Coach Greg Adams is up there. It's a lot of them up there, but Donovan is better. He knows what he's doing. That's the only one I can see that will come out of it besides Kevin. You know, but podcasting ain't for everybody. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Now, broadcasting, yeah, you can broadcast and have your own newsroom. But it's different. You're broadcasting. You're doing it on the internet. See, the StreamYard thing, they try to say it can go away. I say bullshit. And this is why y'all should listen to Zero's interview with the Popular Thought series and pay attention to what he's saying. He has guys in Google that know him that knows it ain't true because they're going to get better. When the internet gets better, I'm talking about 5G, to 6G, all the way to 8G, it's going to be totally better. You don't need a studio. You have a studio in your fucking hand. That's what people don't understand. You know what I'm saying? You can have a small setup because they make everything smaller. See, tech will get smaller and smaller and faster. They're not trying to let you carry big microphones and put stands in your face. It's going to be wireless. When it becomes poleless and wireless, you put it in the air and start talking. You got your own show. But your studio is going to be a lot smaller. They're not going to be bigger because it depends on how the buildings are. Now, you can have a nice studio and they all be wireless things. You don't have to have a boom arm. I'm talking about high tech shit. I'm talking about like something like 2040-ish, not 2030-ish. If you want to talk about automation, that's what they're going to go for. But I'll say it like this. That's how audio is going to be better. Audio is going to be better in the future. See, what we're dealing right now is low grade audio. I can talk about tech too in a way, but I don't broadcast it. The reason people talk about it, see, we use old tech. They think it sucks. No, I've used quality headphones. The best one I've used is Sony. I mean, Heydays is where I got on right now. See, I ain't got a mic that can transcend my little platform that I got. But I'll be looking for headphones if I want to. I just don't see this space. It's very small and underground because they're not caring about production like that. And the reason they're not going to, because the master's already political, but they're not trying to sell out to become Hollywood. And the reason they don't want the fame. A lot of people stick with the message. A lot of people have different lanes, different views. Not everybody's coming together. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people is on some fuck shit and they on some bullshit and be sucking dick to the fame. Fame is what kills a person. Y'all should learn from DMX. Yeah, it's the fuck shit that sells, man. They don't care about the gear and stuff. That's overrated shit. I've seen gear from this woman. What's her name? Persephone. She had a stand with a bunch of Michaels talking about the same old shit, man. And she's a fucking model. I saw that like this morning, you know, on the replay. I was looking at that, shake my head. I said, well, damn, you know, they ain't took over no manosphere. No, they don't fuck with the manosphere. It's like Kwame. Kwame took the message. He didn't care about the sphere. The sphere is going to be here. That's what Ty City said. Yeah. Um, Ty City said it best. If you watch his channel and pay attention, the new manosphere, what they trying to create, doesn't involve in male groups. I mean, y'all watch all that shit, man. But the space will still be here. It's always going to be a manosphere because you're going to have dudes complain about the problems in society, not just the females, but the whole structure. That's why the black and white men and other race of men struggle with this shit because feminism is worldwide. It's like an underground hub. It's like the hacking. Just like you got underground shit, like the dark web. That's what YouTube is going to be. It's just we'll be in a small sector. They're trying to put us in the alternative sector. See, the mainstream media wants to put us in the alternative media sector so bad. Why do you think Aaron Fountain exists? He's a center right guy. He's not a leftist. He don't even like the left like that. He attacks guys that think like canards. I'll give you an example. The guys that attack Lucario on that platform with Ramils shows you right there. And then the main ones be on his platform. That's what you got to pay attention. See, yeah, y'all can talk about gear in Hollywood all day, but no one cares about that. Hollywood is dead, man. No one gives a fuck about Hollywood. Nobody watches that shit. Nobody watches these sorry shows. See, YouTube has YouTube TV. Mainstream media is on the internet TV. So for Christ's sake, if you get a YouTube TV, uh, internet TV, it's called YouTube TV. Don't y'all dudes know that? That exists. YouTube is a sharing site. They just don't want to pay people because they understand that certain individuals gonna make it. Kevin just did something that's really not new. He just happened to be the smart ones and not respond to fuck shit. He just want to be on commercials, TVs, ads. He's gonna get all the things he's gonna get. I don't think see, he lives in Georgia. He lives in the state that I live in. I can person if I want to in Atlanta. Even though a lot of people think he's in LA, he's not. He's just traveling right now. He probably got a spot in LA, but he's not there. He can go overseas and be famous. Like I said, mainstream media is nothing but trends and distractions. And it's not the real message. So when you have mainstream media, you're dealing with a whole bunch of bullshit. Like a lot of people, yeah, they'll hijack the message, they can try, but we have to stand on it. It's not about just stand on with gear. Yeah, you can bulldoze your way with gear all day you want, but who gives a fuck about gear if you don't have no substance? I respect the gear aspect of, podcasting. We can start. That's really the goal. The goal is not to do extra shit and try to be famous. That's not what this space is built on. This space is built on somewhat of a brotherhood. A brotherhood that balances out all different ideas. We can all do different things. We don't need to do the same thing. Because when you do the same thing, that's how they fuck with you. That's what mainstream media is. Mainstream media is about sameness. They are not about being different. I'm sorry to tell you. Because if you do something different, they're going to try to take you out. New Jack said it best. In the wrestling world, they try to get him to do this. He went another way. He speaks on his own drum. He walked the beat of his own drum. And that's what he did for so many years. Even though he died from the cocaine addiction, even though he took the heart medicine and he died. Rest in peace to him. The legendary great New Jack from ECW. He was I think he was a world tag team champion with the Gangsters, the original Gangsters. Yeah. From Smoky Mountain to ECW and to XPW, trained by all the great legends like the Rollin' Express and who else he was trained by? Tracy Smothers, all of them. Terry Funk, I can name names. Watch his interviews. He'll tell you about how businesses work in mainstream combat sports, and especially in the sports world. It's organized corporation / socialism. But really, most corporations are fascists. They'll drop the socialism with the T if they want to. So yeah, you can have all this fancy shit, but the manosphere ain't built like that. It's just discussions. We're talking about real shit. It's barbershop talk, mixed with politics and everything, sex, you name it, relationships. and essence of life, man, and foundation. Now we have a foundation. The foundation is we can be crispier in our voices and stuff. You got devices that's going to be like microphones in your hand, but the thing is, you're gonna have pieces of setups. You can have chairs that's gonna be automatic. See, when you talk about automation, you're talking about everything's gonna be automated. See, the stuff we see right now, this bench right here, this shit won't exist. You're just gonna have to have everything to be wireless. I'm talking about wireless microphones. We're talking about stands. We're talking about shit that's gonna matter in somewhat of your production. I mean, don't try to get this twisted, man. This ain't for fame, man. Fame is just another way to boost you up. The next thing you know, they already finesse and finagle you. We already know that. That's why a lot of brothers ain't trying to get famous off this shit. I'm just looking at it from the message point. I'm trying to help the young guys. If you want to do YouTube, you can do this as a hobby or you can do it for money. That's your choice. And I think it's going to remain that way because what Zero said was very profound. These shits are going to be upgraded. Even StreamYards. StreamYards is not going anywhere because it's a hot commodity right now. They're going to see where this goes because, see, when people beta test shit, it's just like the video game. They're not going anywhere. See, Google Hangouts is Google. Google didn't have enough money to back a streaming like this. It's like Blog Talk Radio. StreamYards is not the same. No, it's a different form. They add features. When you add features, that means it's going to grow. Just like Zoom, they're going to add features to fix all this Borging and shit. And you better have better headphones and equipment. But the equipment with mics, people are tired of looking at that deep down. Most people say they do love it, but most people don't like that. They rather have wireless shit in their mouths. Look at the ones they have in the sports world with the microphone on their chest, talking. See, I look at media like TNT in sports. The way they have their microphones, I say, well, damn, why they have it on their chest? You know, that's expensive shit right there. Now, if you want to go there, now that's TV worthy. You just talking. But see, a microphone in your hand, people gonna get tired of looking at that every now and then. I mean, it's cool for interviews and stuff, but outside of it, nobody wants to see that. Everybody has different views how they look at YouTube channels because you can tell by your ratio who's watching you or not. And like I said earlier in this stream, it's the person. If they like the person, if they do, if they don't, they just don't fuck with you. It could be the person's voice. It's all about charisma. Like I keep telling Kuda and everybody else, it's about charisma. If you ain't got charisma, they ain't fucking with you. That's just the way it is. I don't give a fuck about Kevin's charisma. His charisma is just like everybody else. He's just have more, he's tailor-made. I keep saying this all the time. He's tailor-made for mainstream. He wasn't here for the space. He just used talking points, got ahead, and understand. He didn't study. He just did what he did. He did what Tommy did. The difference is he's nice. He's not threatening. That's why people call him the G words and the F words, not the with the U in it, but the other one. That's why he gets away with it. And he lives in a state that's known for the G's too, not just city of Atlanta. See, a lot of people don't study Georgia very well. When I was in Mocha space, a G guy tried to hit me up years ago. And I told him I don't rock that way. He found out I was straight. And, you know, it's weird. He's other parts of Georgia, but I ain't gonna mention his name, but it's weird. You know, on a social network website, what we call social media today, it's called Moco Space, right? Meet different peoples in this state. And what you're gonna find out, it's worldwide. Like ever since Obama freedom, man, you're gonna have a lot of that. It's not just one area. See, I get so tired in these spaces, they don't do research. That's so how retarded they are. It's not just Atlanta. You got San Francisco, you got everywhere, New York, they're everywhere. You can't say that shit in mainstream media. That's why mainstream media is garbage. They'd rather listen to alternative media. That's what mainstream media, that's what the manosphere is. Manosphere is nothing but alternative media. That's all it is. They already put us in that category. All they need to do is, I wouldn't say fund it, just put a section and add groups what we're in. Because what's wrong with these dudes talking about the upgrading gears? It's cool and all, but you got to look at it from a political standpoint. We're in the underground. We're in the alternative world. They're looking for a spot. See, what they did to Gavin McGinnis, like I said before in my self streams, and Miley Yiannopoulos, they're tired of listening to them. So you got people listening to us that lean towards the right all the time. So I know people don't like what I'm saying, but it's the truth, man. Like, this space is not built by being fame. I'm sorry that Kevin did that so he can get out. You know, he wasn't a part of Manosphere. I mean, he ain't no leader. He's nobody. He's just somebody that's gonna be on TV, gonna be more famous. His fans are delusional. I don't give a fuck about his fans. His fans is a bunch of losers, man. I'm sorry to say that, but they are. They're pawns, and they'll realize. Give them 3 years. They're gonna realize, say, where the fuck you get his talking points from? You gotta be smart too. It's the audience. Look at the chat. Chat people are nothing but bots. They're not real people. And I hate to say this about this space and outside this space, you got a lot of fucking bots. I'll give you a perfect example. Daquan Wiltshire, right? Comedian, right? He's popular on YouTube. But if you look at his chats, they never but troll bots. They have no life. They're punks. They don't stand for nothing. And what they do is they want that fame bullshit, and famous people don't give a fuck about them. It's just like corporations. See, I worked under a corporation organization. I know how they treat people. They treat people like shit. Even when I was a barista, I watched that. In a black pill sense, I understand why they do that. It's to measure up who's better than who. It's just like in the sports world, man. I don't like fanatics. I'm a supporter of, teams in a league and stuff. Yeah, but I do not like fanatics. I mean, when I was a kid, I had that fan mindset, but I grew out of that when I got older. I hate being a fanatic. Fanatics are the worst because what they do is they want bullshit and they don't think for themselves. That's what a fanatic is. He's a fanatic. It's like a religious fanatic. It's all the same. He's a fan. That's why I argue with fans. Fans are idiots, man. Because what they do is they follow a man that doesn't give a fuck about them. That's what happens. And the sad part, he lives in the state that I live in. It's easy by a couple miles up, and I don't know what part of Atlanta he's in, but he still got territories. He can get more territories here in this state. He knows it's a 5% tax rate here. But if you have that 501(c)(3) charter, it'd be less than that, or don't pay taxes at all. See, people cheat taxes in this state, in this country for years, especially in the state where I'm originally from. We don't have no state income tax, but you move to these states that have taxes, you got to pay, man. See, y'all get it twisted. The manosphere is just a small cog of the truth. Everybody's having the message. The message is getting out. Yeah, we're the thought leaders. It's just like BGS said, we're the thought leaders. It ain't nothing special. As long as we don't have no revolutionary group, that's what they look for. They're not looking for entertainment like that. They use entertainment as a weapon to shut us up. They look for revolutionary shit. I've noticed this on this second channel almost 10 years. See, this is my channel, right? I peeped this shit years ago. And a lot of dudes ain't really about the brotherhood shit. And that's what you gotta watch. You gotta watch people. Yeah, it's already divided. I think Kuda don't understand. It's already divided. Look at the game versus non-game shit. That's what divide brothers. That was just get the opposite sex, the females, the women destroying men. And they know what they're doing because it's just like Zero said on that interview. I'm gonna see the rest of it in my watch later. I'm gonna check him out because I was in that chat too earlier, and then Ramil caught me off guard with the Taz thing. So I gotta see his shit to see what he was talking about, and he made some valid points. That when a woman comes on those panels, men start flipping. And I've been noticing that since last year. I've noticed that quite well this year. It's gotten worse this year. It's gonna get worse because what they're doing is trying to sell them something. So basically, if you want to say mainstream media is for men, it's not. It's really for the woman, the females that run this shit. Look who's in the White House, man. I'm not blaming him for winning because he's much needed. Trump was not the future either because his right-wing rhetoric will not work for the average person because that's not good because you don't want fascism for one. Because fascism, it leads to destruction anyway. That's like a form of nihilism, but you don't want that. You don't want that. Y'all dudes ain't ready for that. When Hitler ruled, a lot of people didn't have that much money. In war, fucked they shit up. So America had too much power, even though we had corporate power. And that's why corporations are nothing but fascists. They try to pretend they're socialists deep down, but they're really not socialists. They're really fascists, if you want to get technical, because they support that shit. Liberalism is a cover. Fascism is what they want. That's that. If you study Italy, if you study Rome, they dominate people. Y'all need to study Scipio Africanus, how he cut heads off, man. That's what America's about. They're about bombing shit. I learned this shit years ago, man. The manosphere have never learned that concept. They're in your chats, they're in your panels. You got a lot of agents, man. It's the same shit I've seen in other spaces and other sectors in the sports world. You have to keep quiet because you can't be properly a revolutionary or a conservative or any form of person that's a nationalist. You can't do what you want. You have to be careful, man. And Freemasons still exist in this fucking world and these spaces. That's the beef. It ain't going. It will never be a brotherhood with them because they ain't about it. They're about that fame, man. See, they rule media and mainstream media in Hollywood. That's why they need to die. Because look what the French did. They kicked them out. But here's their problem. They got the Roman Freemasonry on their hands. And the fake J's that they created in Israel, man. And they've been doing this. Yeah, what's going on, DS1? But that's what they've been doing, man. I laugh when people try to say they want mainstream, man. Like, that ain't for us. I've seen people get destroyed by that shit, man. Even on jobs, if you try to get to a certain level in the sports world, just shows you right in front of you. The playoffs is nothing but a gamble. Any team can win. You know, LeBron, it's like I said in comparison to Tom Brady, they could be good friends on the side, but one wins the championship, one don't. So it's a possibility he won't win this year. If he does, that's a strange year. But he lost two players that's on the Sixers. You know, I say they can win it because they're tailor-made as well. So you got really three tailor-made teams. Well, actually four. Milwaukee, Philly, LA, and Brooklyn. Those are your tailor-made teams. But then you got the dark horses. It's obvious, you know. But Dallas is a good team. I don't even trust the Clippers because they barely survived last night, but they did a good job. So yeah, you got to look at all these things. Look at the playoffs. Look at the drama and the manosphere. You put it all together. Fame is not a good mix. I mean, Kwame is just he's doing the work for himself, really. He just used the talking points to survive. You know, he's playing chess with them, and there's more people who will come after him. He's gonna have to be ready for that. You know, he's been having the channel, but he's got to be ready for that. You have to be built for it. Because a lot of them people that try to come to these spaces ain't really built for that. I'm sorry. I mean, we can have the best gear we want, but how we can destroy them at the end. Because 95% of the time, you know, a lot of these dudes don't make it, man. We just laugh at them. You know, yeah, Kevin's in the same state I am in the state of Georgia. I can see him anytime if I wanted to, but I choose not to because what's the point? He probably got a bunch of security guys ready to shoot you down and shit. We don't know who he is outside of this shit. We don't know. That could be a crazy man, even though he's a fruit, but still. I'm not shitting on the guy like that, but I'm just saying, like, his intentions is about money. And I noticed that about him. See, I've seen him in chats and panels. I never said nothing to him. Like last year, I didn't know who he was. But that dude, man, it's just something off about him. Like, he has that Masonic aura, man. I just don't worship another man like that. You know, no diss to him or anything. But, dude, you're just a puppet, man. But you got fanatics and defense forces. Those are fanatics. I understand. That's why I don't listen to him, especially in the chats, because you can tell in the chats that he has, or anybody that's big, they're fanatics. That's why most of the trolls are fanatics. They don't realize that. It's not about reducing being audience members. What he has to understand is they're fanatics. And he has to look at his channel like that. See, once you get 100,000, a million, or 40 million, or 99 million, like PewDiePie, that's when you don't want to really moderate your chat. You want the mods to do the work for you, or Google mods. I've noticed that too. Because pay attention if you ever watch their stuff on live stream. The mods do all the work, not the content creator. Because see, if you're a small channel, you get to do all the work. I know it's a big difference. Because it's a certain number you get. And I think BGS said it best. He hardly ever mods the chat. The mods do all the work. He'll mod when probably the beginning when he starts his stream, but midway he just go, look, I'm just gonna cut you off. I'm gonna let the mods get you. But that's the truth, man. Like I've seen that. I've seen big channels that let mods do all the work and don't say nothing. They know what they're supposed to do. It's like a formulation. Then the other side of man said, yeah, yeah. Because I never understood that until you start watching other people's content. Like if you're not subscribed to them or if it's from the other side of the manosphere, you notice it's a lot of bots that's fans, man. Ain't no diss to them. Oh, what's going on, CG3? Yeah, it's just like I seen this a lot, man. You know, in Ramil, like I said, my prediction with him, he may get 10,000 before you know it. That's just my prediction because when he came back, his subscribers went up. He's for entertainment value. So him and with Taz, that's just for entertainment value. I'm starting to see that and look away, and I'm probably gonna have to sky watch him more and see what the chat's talking about. I mean, it's the same people we talk to, but if he gets more subscribers, he's gonna get a lot of fanatics and trolls. He's gonna have to be careful because he may want to add some mods or not, but that's real. You know, he has a style format they like, and some people may copy it, but they can't. You know, like I said, mainstream media is just another form of the structure. They destroy themselves. They can't come online. They already got internet TV. Look at YouTube TV. They already got the channels. They don't need a YouTube page. But really, half of them can't make it. It's only a handful. So you're competing against those guys. See, the fans are bots. They don't last forever. They flip flop like they do in sports. Look at the bandwagons from the Lakers. They used to be Golden State, then they went right back. The Miami thing. It's a pattern. And that's why I learned about this manosphere that's new right now, the new style of format where we do things. People flip flop, man. And I think I did a stream on that when I had 6 out in the box and I said something like that. It's weird. Someone said that in the chat. I said, yeah, they flip flop. See, Platinum Springs having a good old time, you know? And I think Ricardo does that. Yeah, a lot of people flip flop in the space. I don't do that though. That's just them. I'm not one of them because I don't think like most bots. I'm sorry to tell you that, man, but I'm not no bot. Bots think like that. They're not really people because their goal is to fuck you up. Their goal is to fuck you up because they're fanatics. If you watch sports and you watch politics and you watch parties, a lot of people are fucking sheep and bots. They just don't know when to stop. That's why they get slaughtered, man. They don't get slaughtered by guns. They get slaughtered by the food and stuff you drink every day and the poisons that we put in our bodies. Or the air we breathe, if you want to get technical, or the atmosphere that we build things, you know. I've seen that on the job and people just, they come and go. But if you work alongside with a corporation or organization long enough, like, now 2 years is not long, but if you work long enough, I've seen people work there for like decades and they get tired, they get burned out, and they just like say, fuck it. I can't deal with it. I got to create my own thing. Now, this is in the auto industry that I worked in. Well-known cars, Lexus, but owned by another corporation, coming to your building and try to press you with suits. See, Hollywood is suits and everything. But the thing is, they use tricks. So Hollywood to me don't exist. It's really mainstream media. Because Hollywood's not everything. They don't run the world. They're just a cog of the world. Let's just put it that way. And politics is king. I'm sorry. If you go to the White House, yeah, you better have look a certain way, man. That's like any country. You go to any country that has royalty, you got to look a certain way. You know, you still got a classism world. It's a Western mindset. You know, as long as you have a Western mindset, you can fit in a little world. You just got to sell out more, you know. But you don't want to sell out the space because the space is going to be here. It's just, I don't see nobody taking it. What's the point taking it? Unless you're the superstar like Kevin. See, Kevin ain't going to acknowledge the space. And I'm going to tell you that right now. He's already on this other side right now. He's laughing at all this shit. He's going to pick certain dudes. I can say that, but not everybody. I already know who's going to be on mainstream TV. I can say Donovan Sharp for one. if they give him a deal, if he cleans his image, which is sadly but true. I observe things, who he talks to. And a lot of people say, oh, is he going to talk to AM? No, AM's not going to do that. He said it on a panel. He said, I ain't interested in fame. He said that on Kuda's channel when he dropped everybody down. He wasn't interested in that. And I'm surprised he said that too. Because that takes a certain level, man. That takes a certain level to get there. But I wouldn't sell it out for fame, for one. Because I wouldn't need fame. Because see, fame, it don't do nothing for me. Because fame, that's just, you just want to be seen until you get drained. Look what they did to DMX, man. It's fucked up. And Black Rob, I can name a lot of names. A lot of dudes that deal with fame comes with depression, man. That's why men need to stop thinking like these harlots out here, man. These hoes out here, man. Because what happens is, see, they want that fame and shit because they don't even last long. That's why you got them in these spaces. I understand what Zero's saying about these spaces, that it's corrupt, but it's going to get worse every time. So I have to look at his stream with Teapot because I got distracted when Ramil came on going at Taz. So I had to, I saw half of it because I was in that stream too. I was in the chat. So I had to see what he said on the end because a lot of people probably come up and talk to him on see, you know how Teapot does. I mean, the Prophet of Thoughts is a brother X. Shouts out to him. But yeah, I think people should look at that, what he's saying, because he's been saying it since last year. And ain't nothing new. Because a lot of people act different when the female comes around, their voice turns into a different tone. I saw that when I first came in here, this new format. I'm like, man, much as I've been in these spaces a lot longer, man, I see a total big difference. I know exactly what he's talking about. See, people forgot about the broadcasting days of YouTube when Google hijacked it in '08 and tried to reformat it. Yeah, they change it every 2 years, but you can't trust Google. That ain't YouTube. That's Google. Google wants to structure like a stream like platform. You can do pre-records, but pre-records, what happens if you can't do pre-records? You know what I mean? You can as an option, but what's gonna happen is live stream is a requirement. You know, they're looking at StreamYards. They try to make money off of anything they can, but deep down they really care about data. That's all they care about. They always make data, and people in the space don't talk about big data. Big data is what runs Google. They looking for 6G to 8G. They ain't worried about 5G. 5G is just a buffer to them. But I've learned, I can tell you this, if you get better gear, what's it gonna help the younger people? Because the younger people gonna look at it like, you talk about this gear stuff, ain't no shots to my boy, man, but people look at things different. It depends on your voice or that cadence, man. See, like I said, people praising dude, man, in a suit. He's for market value for them. He's tailor-made. I'll keep saying that. See, Kwame's not tailor-made. Kwame was called the BUST all his life in a professional sense. As a young man to an adult, he realized what was going on. But he wasn't no damn dummy, I'll tell you that. He saved his money like half of these players. Half these players you see in the NBA are broke. I hate to say that. They got millions, they spend on dumb shit. But the ones that save their money, like Durant, James, you know, LBJ, and Kobe and all them, they know what they're doing. They got business partners and backers. You know, if you don't have that, it's not gonna make it, man. It's just like in I would say a unionized national sports way. Like you got all these national leagues, like the football, basketball, baseball, soccer. They're backed by unions, man. They're backed by corporations, man. That's just how it is. But if you deal with combat sports, you're on your own. I mean, it's the same concept, but you still got to work on your own. If you're like a rook or a jobber, they would say, or upstart or amateur, you're gonna have a hard time. You gotta have a backing. You have to have a contractors. But they struggle way more than the average unionized athlete. I hate to say that about them, but organized sports. See, combat sports is like a gamble. You can die in those sports. You die in a ring. You can die in in a cage. But what I can say is, man, like the manosphere is just a small cog, man. It'll never be one of those places that you can say, oh, let's go to Hollywood and go to mainstream. Cause I don't see that, man. I don't see that. It's only a handful that's gonna make that. But if you want to be that, you won't be the same person. They're gonna water you down. So I already know what's coming. It's not gonna be what they think. They're gonna be surprised. Kwame will say the right words and have a group following. See, the problem is the white media wants to know if he's revolutionary. That's what they look for. They ain't looking for no beefs, the silliness what we do in this space, talking about weird shit. But if you actually have substance and actually help people, actually doing it based off video and actually moving shit and getting rid of the fuckery and take the beefs out of it, um, you're a problem. And actually change education, little shit like that, and the foods and stuff. They don't want guys like that. Look what they did to Dr. Sebi, man. I mean, you got brothers talk about that stuff on these spaces, but people got to understand when you're in the manosphere, you got to be on your message, stick with the same message, and have like minded brothers that's going to be about something. So the problem is, you're going to have people talk about this mainstream media talk. They already put us in the alternative category. We already know that. That's why you got AF. That's why you got guys like him, like critics, like center right people. You got guys that's like, I can name names that's black and white that does what he does. It ain't nothing new. And you got guys that always talk about things like that, but you got to pay attention to the details why they do this stuff. They do this stuff on purpose so they can see where you are. That's why panels are so important. If you ever go on panels and listen to people what they say and their doctrine, you're gonna start looking at it from an angle. And the problem is you got to look at it from a proper angle why people say the stuff they say. But the issue is, are they really doing something with their life? Like constructive. Yeah, you can do something like jobs and stuff. I'm talking about actually helping people get through shit. COVID was a great example. I mean, I focus on happiness, not worrying about what other people do. I could wish like all of us, but that starts internally. Yeah, it does. But I don't I don't really go crazy about other people like that. I agree with CG3 was saying, but yeah, same here. But it's really sad that you got to take a little black pill turn to it because you can't really look at it from a negative standpoint. You got to understand why people just do it, and they're just gonna keep doing it, man. You only save a handful. The rest of them just sheep, man. Because I'm at a point like, look, I'm here for enlightenment. Try to help this people as much as I can. You can do this as a hobby, whatever. Yeah, you can make money off this stuff too. It's great, but don't try to take it mainstream because mainstream is nothing but a big, not just a distraction, but it's destructive. It's distraction and it's destructive too. It's not lasting long. In politics, you got to be careful what you say. You can't be who you are in politics. You have to sell out. And if you want to be president, you got to take the blood oath and you're out of there. You're already on the other side. So I mostly go on panels just to laugh and understand where others. Yeah, some people do that, and then I'm really not trying to change anyone. No, you shouldn't really, because I think Zero said it best. You just hear what people say, but panels is a good way to learn about a lot of people. Where they coming from. Because I try not to get in arguments. I hear the discussions, but see, through the fuckery with the females slash women, that's a distraction. That's a test to see how you are. And now, if you want to sell out and say, "Hey, we got a guy right here," because mainstream is looking, we know everybody's looking. They're gonna see if you're gonna sell out or not. That's what they're gonna see. They testing your head. The whole goal is this space is just like a surface where we congregate to see what we're gonna do in life. Are we gonna do it underground, actually do it on the field, or are we gonna sell out to the media and just dance like minstrels? That's what I see right now because I don't see people try doing the work. I mean, it's okay to do the work. If you do the work, that's great for you. But as a collective, it's gonna be a while because certain brothers got it. We all got it. It's just you can't push this mainstream narrative down our throats because that shit will get old after a while because they can't produce nothing. Okay, what do you say right here? Too many people are butthurt about other people due to a question that I will ask everyone is, are you living your best life? If not, why? Do you blame yourself or others? Well, I don't even blame myself for others or anything. That's just, I've been on this path for like years. I don't even care what others think. I mean, that's just me. But I see it for like, I try to help a select few. I ain't trying to help everybody on this tip because everybody is not on the same path. They just on different modes. But if they come, they come. If they don't, that's just me at the beginning of the day. I'm not tripping off this though, man. Because when you deal with mainstream media, that's my enemy. Because they're never gonna be my friends because they're not real people. They're bots. Like I said, they produce fanatics and bullshit to kill the male image. It's always been that way. Because years ago it was something, and then come to find out women was their goal in feminism. They brought it on TV. That's what killed a lot of men. That's why a lot of men don't watch a lot of television. If you notice, they stay on the internet a lot. That's why the internet age kind of killed it in a way too. And now it's more like TV. See, the internet used to click it off and don't have live streams. You just restructured your accounts and stuff. Too many people want to play victim or the more wise man. I'm extremely silly, but I'm very ignorant on a lot. So I'm always coming with the perspective to learn about other people. Yeah, but you got a lot of them in the space play victim, but I ain't one of them. I'm done apologizing to people. Fuck them because they don't matter to me. They're liabilities to me. I done enough of that. Fuck them. But I ain't playing victim. What I'm saying, you don't have to be ignorant. It's just how they are. If you've been in these spaces way longer than I have, most people ain't shit. I listen to people to see if they make sense to me, but the problem is most people don't make sense. They can't explain themselves logically or rationally. Well, none of them can. It's the guys that's leading, supposed to lead. I would say lead the 3.0 sector. I won't say that. Stream teams was a disaster. We already know one individual killed it. But the brain trust, it's just they're not producing anything that's tangible. I've heard the about me section, but how many times you gonna say that? Young people's gonna get tired of that shit after a while, and they're gonna get sick and tired of you, man. And that's what it boils down to. Because what Nameless was saying, most people stuck in step one and step two on the Art of New Styles channel. He broke that down and talk about automation. The China thing. To me, China's nothing but a big distraction. Because China is not gonna last long. I just don't see China as a great country, because they have problems. They can't even sell their dollars. They worry about Bitcoin and stuff. See, we don't know if banks behind that, because see that I'll tell you what starts war is small conflicts and brush fires, like Gerald Celente said about the First World War, and then we got this. I would say COVID virus or C virus, what they want to say. Yeah, most people. Yeah, I don't watch no network television either, but most people do. You gotta understand, CG3. They're brainwashed. They're programmed because you got a lot of people program on internet TV as well. Because mainstream media is powerful. It's not just some small giant. It's a juggernaut, man. Because you got people that have weird talking points. Then you got guys that use criticism against certain things in the space. You just got to learn how to deal with that. Fight through it. He's not going to debate you for one, but it's more people like him. When you get into mainstream, because now you got to deal with the types that does not have your political leanings or whatever. But most people don't really care because I think they want the entertainment as a distraction. But mainstream media is going to be mainstream media. But we should not be focusing on that because that fame shit don't get you nowhere. What's going on, new? Only pretty much watch my cooking shows on TV. Yeah, yeah, if you like that, that's cool. That's cool. I just don't see people succeeding with fame, and do what you got to do, man. Fame is just I know what fame can get you. Destruction. And it's not fun. So Yeah, man. Like I just want to just drop in. It's over an hour. So, I ain't got much to say on it. But yeah, it's like I said before, mainstream media, man, don't worry about that shit. They ain't lasting that long. Everybody's got different options to watch people, or if they choose internet TV, which is great, like you can learn about it, but I don't want to be a part of it, for one. And podcasting is gonna die out soon. It ain't gonna die out right now because we're in the age of when technology is basic. We ain't got 6G to 8G yet. So if you're talking about gear, you need to talk about the internet uh, infrastructure. That has to change. We ain't gonna see that until the 4 years, whoever gets out of office. We already know Biden's gonna get out of office 4 years from now, and he's not gonna run again. So they ain't gonna let that happen. It's too much politics into play. You gotta look at what's on the ground. You gotta look at what people, how they're moving, and you gotta pay attention to details. And sometimes you gotta do your own research. Don't even listen to me. What the stuff I say, do your own research. Um, have your own knowledge, man. Like, because when you're dealing with mainstream media, they're gonna attack you like on the job. If you work in a corporation, it's like that. You have to actually stay calm, just like on panels, man. It's getting to that, yeah, due diligence, and it's the same thing, man. You got to be disciplined. You can't cry about what's going on because they're here now. It's how you're gonna deal with it, how you're gonna defend yourself in these spaces, because the space is just one thing, and it's gonna be many more because we done birthed a lot of versions of these spaces. We birthed like the 2.0, 3.0. See, the original one was already had a website. 2.0, I don't know what they're doing. They're dealing with esoteric stuff. Now 3.0, you had two. You had Stream Team, could have been great, but we know a certain individual destroyed that, and I ain't gonna blame that individual I'm cool with. It's the other individuals because they didn't want to do nothing because it's a lot of egos. I could say that, but the other one deals with the what's the about me section. Yeah, .net. Yeah, I'm talking about from 1.0 new, but I'm talking about 3.0. They little about me section, that right there. I like what G Lowry said on Wacky World of O's chat. He had a live stream. He was on a panel with him, and he disagreed with complex design. He said, you got to stop. You got to take manosphere out of your name. And he told him that, and he got furious. You know what I'm saying? Like, if that's 3.0, why do people have to read about your about me section, man? Like, that gets old. And I think Judge Zilla said the same thing on Zero's panel. Yeah, he did, because no one really cares. And I think Gabe A be saying it. A lot of people been saying they're tired of hearing it because they know that's not the future. Because see, if you want to talk about fourth industrial revolution, is automation, certain legalizations in the world with the drugs. You got to talk about the 5 to 8G internets, wireless internets in your hand, and gear and podcasting that's going to be wireless. You can have it in a sector back of your house, whatever, or a set of studios. Because you don't know what this tech can do, man. Because technology is going to get better and crispier by whoever controls it. But to me, it's more of a military stance, because China's doing a poor job. Because you got Koreans fighting over it, you got Japanese fighting over it, you got Americans fighting over it, the British, but France got the tech. To be honest with you, you have to look at their video games like Ubisoft, man. That company's gonna be huge. They keep on playing. I'm telling you, these companies is competing, and you want to talk about tech and stuff? They moving it a lot faster. The other shit y'all talking about, that's not relevant, man. That's just a small cog. I've seen a lot of robots got recalled in the auto dealership in a recent article, I think a couple months back. Yeah, they doing the work, man. They're not playing around. They know the history of this world, man. The French people know how America was founded. It was their territory until the British came in and did damage, man. So yeah, France has a lot of history against the Italians for years, man. I told you like before, it's conquest. Corporations about bloodshed and conquest in the military. That's why the military industrial complex don't uh don't quit. Yeah, Take Two Interactive's cool, but they're not, like, they're competing, but Ubisoft is better because they got better technology. Well, I see they stuff what they do with these games, man. It's ridiculous, man. I try to tell you, if you stick with the French products, that's what's going to compete against America. America don't want to compete with their own allies. They rather compete with their rivals. Yeah, but a lot of people just acting crazy right now, man. Yeah, Tony Stark type shit, man. It's just when you talk about tech, man, you talk about you have a company called the Brain Trust. I think Gabe said there's already a black brain trust. So I hope they don't get sued, man. But you know what I mean? I shouldn't say hope. I wish they don't get sued because I wish they don't get sued because you got companies suing everybody for ideas now. You know what I mean? And that's what's hurting uh, a lot of people with their ideas, man. Because a lot of people talking about talking points. Everybody's got similar talking points, but sometimes the talking points can be stale. You got to come up with some new ones. Because the manosphere is gonna be fine. It ain't gonna be taken over by no mainstream or no Hollywood or no shit like that. I don't see that happening because people that try to take over, they usually fail. They already just got one person. He got to get his foot in the door first. But I'll tell you this: how many years he's gonna last in mainstream? That's what I'm gonna see. Because I know he's gonna get 5 million next year. That's my prediction on him. And the other one's gonna get if Kwame gets like 4,000 like this whole year. Because he just did a interview with Judge Joe Brown. So that's floating around. But shouts out to Kwame, man. He's sticking to his message, his guns. He ain't trying to take over no manosphere. He's just being himself right now. He's off that. He has the message. It's the people who stick with his message. That's what counts for subscribers because you got a lot of bots. So they want to go Hollywood is so fucking bad. Yeah, man. I don't even care about that shit, man. Hollywood is done. I don't see them making it, man. It's bigger than Hollywood is just a distraction. It's just like politics, man. You can't mix the two because politics damn near kill Hollywood. I just say that right now. They control what goes over there. You know that, right? And the next step, you go into politics. Hell, we're in a political battle trying to create our own parties. You got the main side of mainstream manosphere wanting to unify the black side. What type of shit is that? Myron and what's his name? That fresh and some people call it fresh and fruit. Some people call it fresh and whatever, whatever. Trying to call truce. Like niggas, we don't care about y'all. I don't even watch they podcasts like that. I don't think they podcasting is all that. You know what I'm saying? Like if you want podcasting, look for rap entertainers and people actually did this shit. Like I said before, $1 million worth of game and Devin Wade is the only ones I watch because they got better quality. They talk about real issues and they have a message. But you got dudes that don't want to do the work. It's not about buying gear. It's about your substance in it today. So yeah, man, like I've seen a lot worse. But make sure the podcasting to be good for yourself, Stay in character, man. Your own character, not some fake character, but you gotta look at the big picture. I remember when MGTOW started getting recognition and kind of went mainstream. Yeah, look at TikTok. They dancing, which is embarrassing, man. They had MGTOW TikTok, the dancing. I'm still laughing at that. I'm still laughing at that. Like, is that what the manosphere is going to be reduced to? It's the fuckery. We gotta be better than that, man. Like, it's bad enough. It's like what Wacky said, man. It's a distraction, man. Just to fuck our heads up. And the sad part about it, yeah, it's on TikTok. Just type in MGTOW TikTok on YouTube or actually go to the TikTok website yourself. You see the embarrassment, man. They got all these short skits, trying to, be cool, and that's what happened to it. Yeah, it's a dumpster fire. I already know. It's already a dumpster fire. That's what happened to Renegade, man. I don't know if he was chasing a female or he had problems. It was a combination of a lot of things. I know he was a legend, but still, yeah, it's awful, man. You can't be like that if you're not on message like that with your group. See, I'll be surprised. I won't be surprised if Igmore guys start doing it, or SYSPM dudes. You know, because they'll look at that and say, "Well, damn, we need to do that." Because EA trying to tell us, "Well, we need to be on Instagram and promote ourselves." That sounds like EA talk to me. You know what I'm talking about, Lord, so-called Hurricane Edward Anderson, man. He tried to overtalk at Art of New Style like he always do when there's two females on the panel. I mean, Art's cool, you know, but he has to be careful, man. Like he needs to start dropping something like he did. What's her name, Miss Gigi? Even though she's got issues in her own situation, I ain't gonna speak on it, but he did the right thing on that stream, man. Like that's the first time I seen him drop down a female like that. Because most dudes won't even do that. So Art's a real one to me. And shouts out to him anyway. But yeah, man. Yeah, so-called Hurricane Ed, man. He likes to run his mouth, man. That dude is crazy. I learned to stay away from dudes like that. And he tried to get all, yeah. Yeah, he did. He did. Art wasn't playing. He has a streak to him. And he's all right with me. You know, he got my respect for doing that. So yeah. Art has to understand, man. They clout chasing, man. It's real. So yeah, I'm just gonna like, yeah, man. Yeah, it's crazy, man. These dudes is insane. They always want to whine about stuff, and then you wonder why people be in strikes and all these panels and stuff. See, you just sit back and watch these panels how they act crazy. Sometimes you don't have to go on them, but you observe what they're doing, man. Because these dudes don't know how to stay on their square, man. They get so emotional. See, females know exactly who to go after. They know who's intimidating and who's not, and it's not a bad thing. It's a learning experience. See, the young guys got to learn that they're not playing with y'all. Just like in mainstream media, they're not playing with these dudes out here, man. If you try to go mainstream, they're gonna challenge you on your points. They're gonna ask the weird questions. They already got microphone stands in their little house. So you think they're gonna change everything? So yeah, you dudes be safe, man. Like, yeah, man. Shouts out to everybody came. DS1, Sheep State Sleep TV, Shaka Nulu, known as New, uh, CG3. Yeah, man. Shouts out to Sheep. We here. Yeah, I'm gonna be out. I'm just gonna cut this off, and I'm gonna say with that, peace and shalom, man.